So, how do you know whether your energy has been siphoned or whether your destiny has been tampered with? There are some signs that are consistent throughout many testimonies that I have heard and also consistent throughout my own experience. So, there's certain things that just outline to you that the likelihood of your energy being siphoned or your destiny being tampered with is very probable. And I'm going to just quickly go through them, and I'm not going to discuss them or anything. I'll just list them out for you, and you can go ahead and pray about it and just ask the Holy Spirit to reveal to you whether this is the case or not. So one of the biggest telltale signs is the fact that you, in how you know yourself, in your capacity, in your inner strength, just does not seem to match your reality. So basically, you find yourself having all of this potential and power and authority and competence, but it is not expressed anyway. It's not expressed in your finances. It's not expressed in your work. It's not expressed in your relationships, in your marriage. Anyway, so you find yourself at a deficit when it comes to seeing who you know yourself to be and who you actually are. So it's almost as though everything that you know and have, which is a power and strength within you, is just not able to find expression. And instead, you find yourself operating and living at a very low vibration, which only attracts things that tend to be beneath you, for lack of a better word. You might also find that there's very unusual delay in your life. So there's certain things that are just not justified. Like, for example, you went to school, you have degrees, maybe you're very handsome, you're very beautiful, but you're not married. You have all these degrees, but you're not finding a job or succeeding in your businesses, or just a lot of hindrances that just are not justified. Like, you've got all of the talents for you to be a fast runner and everything, but you just never seem to make the team, for example. So now you'll find that because of this stagnation or delay, the main thing that seems to be growing about you is your age. So you'll find that, yeah, year by year, like, your age will definitely go up, but what accomplishments tally up, what milestones speak to the fact that you're actually growing up in life. So you might also discover that there's a lot of rising and falling, right? So you'll find that, okay, let's just say you do get a job, everything's great, you're getting paid really well. It might be very short-lived, or you might find that, let's just say, for example, if things go well, they'll go well for a season, and then they just like come tumbling down again, and the cycle just keeps going on and on and on. And it's almost as though the higher you climb up, the more the calamity that will follow after. It's like you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. So yeah, a lot of rising and falling. You might also experience a lot of monitoring spirits around you. So either in people who just are constantly, keeping tabs, your spirit in many instances will notice that this person, kind of has some type of concern as to what's taking place in my life. Is it a genuine concern, or is it a concern of just trying to figure out how far I am in my life in general? Or there might be actual monitoring spirits like birds or insects. People send birds as monitoring spirits, or even, that's also very biblical, by the way. And they also send insects, like cockroaches. They also send just all kinds of other animals just to monitor your progress and monitor your spiritual strength. And you might discover that, there's certain insects or birds or animals that just seem to follow you in your dreams, in real life. You see them a lot. Yeah, so animals in dreams, typically a sign of witchcraft, but also obviously just interpreting the dream, right? So you also have to ask the Holy Spirit to help you actually interpret the dream. But I'm giving general signs that you can take to the Holy Spirit and say, look, I've experienced this. Is this what I'm actually going through? Is someone siphoning my energy? Someone using witchcraft against me? The next one is also very common, which is a lot of near success syndrome. So, you'll find that you constantly are at the brink of the breakthrough. But like, just at the brink of the breakthrough, something takes place. So something just happens that just turns things like around in the direction that's not in your favor. So yeah, that's one sign. Another sign also is constant meditation on the things that are going wrong in your life. So you'll feel as though your mind cannot actually get rest. Like, you are constantly thinking about the things that are going wrong. You're constantly bombarded really by how you're going to fix that, what you're going to do to fix that. And it's almost as though you're just meditating on the same pain points. So the same pain points just keep going over and over and over and over and over in your mind. And as that's happening, it's causing a cycle of anxiety and depression, and possibly also addiction. So you might find that in the process, you end up becoming addicted to alcohol or other substances. And also, something else that's also quite interesting is that besides the meditating on pain continuously, you might find that the relationships that you attract bring a lot of pain, not because the people themselves are bad people, but because you will tend to attract people who you will have a very codependent relationship with, where you will now try to nurture them a lot, right? And your nurturing is really it's almost like an empath and narcissist type of relationship. So you will be overly empathetic, and in some instances they're not even narcissists. But yeah, the relationships that you will attract, you will tend to attract people who constantly need your energy. They constantly need you to affirm them, constantly need you to help them, to just constantly pull them up. And in the process, that drains your energy, not because of the person per se, but because the spirit sent, right, to you is causing you to attract people who do not necessarily add value to your life or help you elevate in life.